Chapter 18, 9/11 Facts. The process of transformation, even if it brings revolutionary change, is likely to be a long one, absent some catastrophic and catalyzing event like a new Pearl Harbor. This is an excerpt from a PNAC, Neocon, report in 2000. I remember getting a call from the fire department commander, telling me that they were not sure they were gonna be able to contain the fire, and I said, "We've had such terrible loss of life, maybe the smartest thing to do is to pull it," and they made that decision to pull and we watched the building collapse. This is a quote by Larry Silverstein, owner and controller of the WTC complex, who collected $4.60 billion in insurance payouts. "We designed the buildings to resist the impact of one or more airliners." This is a quote by Frank DeMartini, WTC construction manager. Afterwards, many engineers and architects supported an independent investigation. Steel-framed high-rise buildings have never collapsed from fire or structural damage. Building 7 was never hit by a plane. It was demolished by controlled demolition. Dick Cheney was in command of NORAD on 9/11 whilst also running Managing War Games. -6 out of 10 commissioners believe that the 9/11 Commission report was set up to fail. The FBI confiscated 85 videos from the Pentagon, but a released Pentagon security camera video does not show a 757 and is missing a frame. Osama bin Laden was not wanted by the FBI for the 9/11 attacks. He was a CIA asset named Tim Osman. -100s of firefighters and witness testimony to bombs and explosions were ignored by the 9/11 Commission report. "I was taking firefighters up in the elevator to the 24th floor to get in position to evacuate workers. On the last trip up, a bomb went off. We think there were bombs set in the building." This is a quote by Louis Ciccioli, New York firefighter. -100s of firefighters and witness testimony to molten metal were ignored by the Commission report. "I heard this metallic roar, looked up and saw what I thought was just a peculiar sight of individual floors, one after the other exploding outwards. I thought to myself, God, they are going to bring the building down." And they, whoever they are, had set charges. In fact, the building was imploding down. This is a quote by John Bussey, foreign editor of the Wall Street Journal. "Jet fuel burns at 1,300 degrees cooler than the melting point of iron, so couldn't have melted iron, causing the building to collapse." 5 dancing Israelis were arrested in Mossad truck bombs on 9/11 that then stated that we were there to document the event. They were held in custody for 71 days before being released. They had also set up cameras before the planes hit the towers in 2001. On the 10th of September, the day before, Donald Rumsfeld reported $2.3 trillion missing from the Pentagon. -220+ senior military, intelligence, law enforcement and government officials question the official story towers were built to withstand a Boeing jet or jet's impact. Leslie Robertson, a WTC structural engineer, said, "I designed it for a 707 to hit it." Frank DeMartini, a deceased manager of WTC construction and project management, said they could probably sustain multiple impacts of jetliners. Charlie Thornton, a structural engineer, said, "As far as a plane knocking a building over, that would not happen." BBC correspondent Jane Stanley reported the collapse of WTC 7, around 20 minutes before it happened. A CNN anchor announced that Building 7 had collapsed an hour before it happened. Flight 93 debris was spread out over many miles. Cheney admits to giving the order to shoot it down over Pennsylvania. Mayor Ernie Stull said that there was no plane. Bush hesitated for 441 days before starting the 9/11 Commission. Phil Zelikow wrote the outline for it before the commission began. The steel from the buildings was shipped overseas. As a contrast, the JFK and the Pearl Harbor Commissions were started within 7 days. The 9/11 Commission were given $15 million to investigate it. As a contrast, $60 million was spent investigating Clinton's affair with Monica Lewinsky. At least 7 of the 19 hijackers are still alive, and there is zero video footage of the 19 hijackers or passengers boarding planes. Pilots of the 4 planes never gave the hijacking codes. Thermite was found by independent researchers at all 3 collapsed areas at the World Trade Center. Thermite is a compound created in military laboratories. Molten steel was found weeks after 9/11 in pools underneath the debris. Only thermite can create these chemical reactions, and the heat given off was seen by thermal imaging satellites. All the steel used in the buildings were quickly hauled away and then quickly shipped to China and India with zero investigation on the metal. FEMA even installed GPS locators on the trucks that were taking the metals away, according to both CNN anchor Jamie McIntyre and Barbara Honegger, a senior journalist with the U.S. Department of Defense. There was zero evidence of a plane hitting the Pentagon. From my close-up inspection, there's no evidence of a plane having crashed anywhere near the Pentagon. The only pieces left that you can see are small enough that you can pick them up in your hand. There are no large tail sections, wing sections, a fuselage, nothing like that anywhere around, which would indicate that the entire plane crashed into the side of the Pentagon. This is a quote from CNN anchor Jamie McIntyre.